In today's episode of The Story of Animals, we turn our attention to two of the cleverest, cheekiest, and most misunderstood birds in the animal kingdom. They wear sleek black suits, strut with confidence, and are notorious for their brains and boldness. It's time for crow versus magpie. Let us begin with the crow, that jet-black figure of mystery perched on telephone poles and rooftops around the world. Often mistaken for a mere scavenger, the crow is in fact a feathered intellectual. In some experiments, crows have solved puzzles that would leave even humans scratching their heads. They've bent wires into hooks to fish out food, remembered human faces for years, and even held what appears to be funerals for their dead. What's unusual about them is not just their intelligence, it's their social smarts. Crows actually gossip. Yes, these birds will share information with one another, warning about threats or discussing where the best snacks can be found. Imagine a feathered neighborhood watch, only with much louder cawing. Now let us cross over to the magpie, a bird cloaked in tuxedo-like black and white feathers with a shimmering metallic sheen. The magpie is famous, or perhaps infamous, for its love of shiny objects. Coins, jewelry, tinfoil, anything that sparkles is fair game. Scientists once found a magpie's nest decorated with everything from keys to candy wrappers, as if it were running a small convenience store in the trees. But that's not the only unusual trait. The magpie is one of the very few non-mammals that can recognize itself in a mirror. In the animal kingdom, self-recognition is rare. Gorillas, dolphins, elephants, and yes, magpies. They've passed the mirror test, a kind of scientific pop quiz for self-awareness. So when a magpie checks itself out in the reflection, it's not seeing another bird, it's thinking, "Wow, I look fabulous today." Now here's where the fun begins. Who's smarter, the crow or the magpie? Scientists have debated this like sports fans arguing over the greatest player of all time. Both birds use tools, solve puzzles, and display a kind of streetwise cleverness. But crows have shown remarkable problem-solving abilities, especially the New Caledonian crow, which fashions tools out of sticks and leaves. That's right, a bird that does woodworking. Magpies, on the other hand, lean into social brilliance. They are chatterboxes, living in groups and constantly communicating with their neighbors. Some magpies even engage in what looks suspiciously like play, sliding down roofs, flipping upside down in flight, and teasing dogs. Yes, magpies are the pranksters of the bird world. So intelligence? The crow takes the title for engineering. Social smarts and cheekiness? The magpie struts away with that prize. Beyond science, both birds hold a fascinating place in human culture. Crows often appear in folklore as omens of mystery, sometimes even death. They're seen as tricksters, messengers, and keepers of secrets. The Norse god Odin was said to have two ravens, close cousins of crows, who flew across the world to bring him knowledge. Magpies, meanwhile, are the stars of countless superstitions. In some cultures, seeing a single magpie is bad luck, but two means joy. There's even a rhyme about it. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy. So depending on how many magpies land near you, you might want to brace yourself or celebrate. Of course, when you watch these birds long enough, you can't help but notice their comedy. A crow will sneak up behind a seagull and tug on its tail, just to steal the food it drops. A magpie will strut into your garden and steal your spoon. Together, They could form the perfect criminal duo, the mastermind and the flashy thief. What's unusual here is how human they sometimes seem. Their antics are relatable, their intelligence undeniable, and their behavior at times eerily familiar. They remind us that the line between humans and animals may not be as wide as we once thought. So, crow versus magpie, who wins? The truth is, it's less of a battle and more of a duet. The crow, dressed in midnight black, is the engineer, the thinker, the urban survivor. The magpie, dressed in black and white, is the trickster, the socialite, and the show-off. Both are brilliant, both unusual, and both utterly unforgettable. In the end, the real winner is us, for living in a world with such remarkable birds. Now it's time to see how much you've learned from today's episode. We've got 3 fun trivia questions coming up. Ready? Let's start. Question 1. What unusual ability do magpies share with only a few animals like dolphins and elephants? A. They can fly backwards. B. They can recognize themselves in mirrors. C. They can change feather colors at will. D. They can sing human songs. The correct answer is B. They can recognize themselves in mirrors. Magpies have passed the mirror test, showing self-awareness, an ability rare among animals, especially birds. Let's try another question. Question 2. What tool-making skill makes New Caledonian crows particularly famous? A. Building nests with shiny objects. B. Carving tools out of sticks and leaves. C. Using feathers as fishing rods. D. Tying knots with vines. The correct answer is B. Carving tools out of sticks and leaves. These crows are known for shaping sticks into hooks, proving they're some of the most advanced tool users in the animal kingdom. Let's move on to the last question for this episode. Question 3. Why are magpies often linked with superstition in human culture? A. They gather in large groups during storms. B. Their feathers were thought to have magical powers. C. The number of magpies seen was believed to predict fortune or misfortune. D. They were thought to guide lost travelers. The correct answer is C. The number of magpies seen was believed to predict fortune or misfortune. Old rhymes and folklore suggest that spotting one magpie could mean sorrow, while 2 bring joy, adding to their mysterious reputation. Great job if you got all 3 questions correct. If you missed any, don't worry. You've just learned some fascinating facts about the crow and the magpie, 2 of the most remarkable birds in the animal kingdom. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other binge-able channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.